Right now, the New York Young Republican Club is holding what is being called a peaceful protest before former President Donald Trump appears in a Manhattan state courthouse this afternoon for his arraignment on criminal charges. These are some live pictures on your screen from New York City in Manhattan. Republican Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene expected to speak there as well. There also appears to be some counter-protesters in the crowd. By all accounts, there's maybe 100 or so, just to give you perspective on what we're seeing. Sometimes it can look bigger than what it actually is on camera, but that's where things stand now. There may be more media right now outside the courthouse. New York City Mayor Eric Adams says he's not going to tolerate any violence at any of the protests across the city today or in the days ahead. Joining me this morning to talk more about the security around this type of event, Chuck Marino, CEO of Sentinel Security. He served as a supervisory special agent in the United States Secret Service under 3 presidents. Chuck, great to see you. Thank you for being here. Talk about the dynamics of this type and magnitude of a security operation.
Yeah, it's pretty big, but I can tell you that this is something that the Secret Service, and especially the Secret Service working with the NYPD on numerous occasions, do each and every day. I think based on what we're seeing, we can tell that when it comes to the former president, he's still extremely well protected, large entourage based on the fact that he's a very recent former president, the fact that he's a declared candidate for presidency, and the increased media attention and divisiveness that we see within the U.S. based on the decision for the district attorney to go ahead with the charges. So all of that is taken into consideration. And then you have the various sites, the venues that are going to be visited, Trump Tower, the court building, and any other locations. And what you're going to see is this protective bubble that's established and built by the Secret Service and NYPD. Follow the president wherever he goes.
And will that include if he has his mugshot taken at the courthouse?
Well, hypothetically, I can tell you right now that the Secret Service very rarely will become involved in processes like that. That is typical processes related to court appearances, et cetera, that would traditionally be held between the district attorney and Trump's legal team. That's really where the negotiation for these things take place. The Secret Service is going to be solely focused on the safety and security of the former president and those locations.
How might an impromptu speech or address to the public outside the courthouse, as we're hearing may happen, so the former president may speak once he leaves the courthouse, further complicate the security measures around him in an environment like this?
Well, all of these security plans are flexible, they're dynamic, and they are able to be expanded and constrict where we're allowed. So if the former president were to throw on an impromptu press conference, I can assure you that the Secret Service would be let into that plan earlier rather than later, and they would set up accordingly.
I want to play for folks at home one of the comments and messages made within the last 24 hours by New York City Mayor Eric Adams on the potential of violence and his message to the public that's in New York, and then we'll chat about that.
New York City is our home, not a playground for your misplaced anger. Although we have no specific threats, people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is known to spread misinformation and hate speech. She stated she's coming to town. While you're in town, be on your best behavior.
And I do want to add that in response to that, Congresswoman Greene said that she will reject any violence, and those who resort to violence are, quote, not one of us. That said, there is always the concern in an environment like this that things could spark up something. How are threats being monitored? Walk us through some of the logistics that the FBI, the Secret Service, and local authorities are looking for right now.
So the Secret Service is not a member of the intelligence community. They're not an intelligence organization. They are, however, a massive consumer of intelligence. So that means they work very closely with the NYPD Intelligence Division. They'll work very closely with the FBI, and they'll also monitor the protective intelligence, as we call it, as it comes in. So they're paying attention, like this all threats, all hazards approach. They're also paying attention to things like protests, what's planned for the day, are there disruptions that may arise, and they're keeping their eye on all of that. You know, intelligence, as you point out, is essential because it serves as the foundation for all of the planning that we now see taking place. And that is, you want to be prepared for everything that you know about, and especially those things that may arise that you don't know about.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.